Welcome to the SMX Insider post-race show. Fans now streaming out of zMAX Dragway, Concord, North Carolina. This place was packed, including the campground as well. But I'll tell you what, the dream scenario that all these fans wanted, they actually got it. Not only Chase Sexton versus Jet Lawrence, who wanted to see that, but James Stewart, Ricky Carmichael, they wanted to see what if Eli Tomac came to play, and he did, RC.
I mean, I tell you, I think it was a win, even though he didn't get the overall. I think it was a win for him just from a confidence, mental confidence standpoint, because now he knows he has that speed. He got to learn from Jet there, and then same for Jet. He's been out for however many weeks, and then he comes back and he wins the overall on a gnarly track at the end of the day. This is going to be a lot of fun these next two rounds.
What can you say about this kid on the number one?
You really can't say much. I mean, he put a lot of people, kind of proved a lot of people right. People thought that maybe if the outdoor season would be different if he was there. I mean, I'm not going to go down that road, but how can you say it probably would be the way this dude was? But that being said, I think him being hurt made him hungry.
Yes.
And as he said, he's having fun riding, just like Eli Tomac. They're hungry again, and I see smiles on these kids, and I see both of them ready to win, and it was a huge day being able to beat the number 4 and just be out here competing. It was next level racing today.
That was a lot of fun to watch, and just the battle that they were doing there at that second moto with Jet and Eli. I mean, at the top of the level, and it's going to be interesting to see what happens, what comes in next weekend in Dallas, or Fort Worth, pardon me.
Oh yeah, it's going to be good. Let's show you how it turned out today from North Carolina. Here are the highlights. The first SMX playoff round of the year. This is zMAX Dragway, the 4-wide drag strip. A perfect place to blend elements of Supercross and Motocross. We had some action early. It's your brother Malcolm Stewart gets tagged by Cooper Webb. Yeah,
this was a practice start. This was on Friday, and yeah, it caused a lot of people. Looks like my brother ended up hurting his leg, but he was okay. He's a big boy. AP, Captain America, he's riding off the side. But yeah, these guys are going, and this was the big moment of the day. Jason Anderson, same practice, getting back up, high-speed section, took a huge hit, knocked the wind out of him. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to ride today, but yeah, hopefully he'll be back. And it's Justin Hill. Justin
Hill got the footage.
Josh Hill getting the footage of a huge hit from Justin Barshuk, another rider coming back from injury. Looking forward to the playoffs, but yeah, tough break. And then the day started.
Yep, then we go to racing, the split start, and Jet Lawrence returns to racing. It looked like he was going to have the whole shot on the left side, but watch Eli Tomac.
Yeah, that right side is a little bit faster coming into the right hand right there. They're able to keep the momentum. They don't have to hit the brakes as much, and I think that's what got Eli into the lead early.
And Eli starts to pull away really quickly, James.
Yeah, he did the same thing the next moto, but Eli was back. Cooper Webb decided he wanted to take a little break right there, and Mike Pelletier decided, all right, we're going to get you anyway, son. So, yeah, tough race for Cooper. I'm sure he'll be back in Chicago, but yeah. Can't cut back. But this guy, Eli Tomac, we were talking about Jet Lawrence, Chase Sexton, the big two. Well, reminded why he's their second all-time winningest rider, and Beast Mode was back that first moto.
Yeah, I mean, just looks really comfortable on the motorcycle. Said he was comfortable on the motorcycle. Spent a lot of time at that Monster Energy Star Racing Yamaha facility this week riding the SMX track.
Yeah, they had a special track prep for this. And another rider on that team, Justin Cooper, leads Moto 2. You've got Lawrence there in second, but Tomac on the charge again.
Yeah, and this when you know Eli was feeling pretty good. The moves that he made early in the race, and riders don't do that unless they feel like they can make it towards the length of the race, or they're really comfortable. And Eli showed you he can do both of them. And this was the pass for the lead of the fastest qualifier, Justin Cooper. And we thought possibly he was going to do what he did that first moto and run away, but that number 1 said, hold on, son.
Well, the key was that rhythm lane that Tomac used to get the lead. He couldn't do it all the way through. Now we've got the battle.
That was a heck of a turn down move to try to get by Eli right there. Very, very tough to make that pass. He wasn't able to, but to execute this on the outside, it's hard to pass anyone on the outside, and especially a guy as strong as Eli Tomac. Just an incredible run.
And that allows Lawrence, who had finished second in Moto 1, to get the overall 2-1. Edges Tomac with the 1-2. Second moto is the tiebreaker, and ain't nothing changed. Jet Lawrence, coming off the injured list, wins again. And respect from the 31-year-old multi-time champ. And And last year's SMX champ, the 21-year-old Jet Lawrence, and Chase Sexton in the middle, 4-3. Definitely not what the Pro Motocross champ and #1 seed for the playoffs wanted today, but he does salvage points. Hunter Lawrence, Ken Roxon, 4th and 5th. So great racing, but if you're Sexton, definitely wants to step up because this points lead won't last if he can't get it together here, James.
Yeah, I mean, he will. I mean, Chase straight up, he said, hey, I got smoked today, but because KTM, Carlos, all those guys, they'll go back and work, and it's going to make him step his game up, and he will. And look forward to next weekend, JT.
Well, that's right. I'm with Johnny O'Mara, and Johnny, you're a multi-time champion yourself, but these kids, Jet and Hunter Lawrence, you've been working with them for 5 years now. I don't know if there's ever been a better testament to the work and the process than we saw today. It's 66 days out of surgery. Been riding 3 weeks. Just talk about how do you get to what we saw today? Because I'll be on record as saying I didn't think that was possible. What we witnessed, I did not think was possible in that short amount of time. How did you guys get to today?
Well, yeah, I think a lot of people would wonder for sure, and this puts a pretty big exclamation point on it. Why he is very special, but yeah, there's a lot of work behind the scenes, and yeah, I'm part of that work. So from the day after he got his surgery, which was on July 4th, was physical therapy every day for 7 straight weeks, with just 1 day off a week. It was intense. I think it would break most people. That's how intense it was. Even on the mental side, just like I got to get up at 5:30 and do this. You know, like it's just. I mean, I almost felt like I was at my breaking point. Like, let's go, Jet. Let's go. Let's go. Let's do it. We got clock here. We got to be there at that time. There's like, it's not just like one thing. It's like 7 things during the day. So it's a lot, but that it does explain a lot. Like I never not doubted him that he could come back and do this. Sure, even for me, I go, wow. I think everyone would say that, the family, all of us. But it just shows you how special he is and how committed he is to his craft. And he's literally the best guy in quite a while.
Well, guys, I think on the hardest days, you wonder, is all of this work worth it? It's hard to argue with it today.
No doubt. Thanks, JT. Johnny O'Mara, someone that both of you worked with.
Oh, yeah.
And he's got a lot of connections. I remember talking to them around Redbud, the process in California, and all the different resources that they can deploy when needed.
I worked for Johnny for a long time, and then as I retired, he worked with James for a while, and I believe in the guy. I think he's tremendous off the track. I think he's tremendous on the track. I think he's respected by a lot of the race teams in the paddock. I think that he gives some great insight. I think he's able to help Jet off the track that essentially yields him great results on the track. And you know, Johnny is being very, very quiet there. I'll tell you that, but Jet is special.
Yeah.
And you know, I'm sure that you've talked to Johnny about it, but Johnny brings a lot to the plate. Just that wealth of knowledge. You know, I know how he helped me, and you can explain to everyone how he helped you, but he's a key part of that team, I truly believe.
No, absolutely. I mean, listening to Johnny, it's what he didn't say that said the most. You know, like there was a quietness, confidence that he was saying, like, the kid's here. And I think part of the reason why they did all that work and came back, because they were sitting at home watching the number 4 build that confidence. And so, you know, Jet Lawrence, yeah, it'd be nice to win all this money, but I don't think he came back for that. I think he came back because he knew that, one, he wants to compete against the best, and he knows, like, look, I need to try to get him here and stop this momentum. And man, he did today. I'm not gonna lie, he showed up.
And like you talked about it, I don't even think it's it isn't about the money for Jet. That guy's making plenty of cheddar. Make no mistake about it. What you see from him, I think, is passion and pride. I truly believe that.
Yep. And there's the bag full of money right there. Johnny's got the bag.
Right? Yeah, and it is. I mean, the guy's making plenty of dough. That what you're seeing is pride. Yep.
Yeah, but you can assign someone to go to physical therapy. You can take them there. The person's got to actually have the commitment to do it. It says a lot about how badly Jet Lawrence wants this. Even though he's pretty easygoing and happy-go-lucky, it's no doubt there's a competitor inside. And they'll put it all to the test again next Saturday, September 14th. We'll start racing with our pre-race show at 2:30 Eastern Time. from Texas, and then race at 3. And then our World Championship finale, the Strip at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. That's September 21st at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time. So a night race for the World Championship. And you can also listen to our Spanish broadcast of that one in the United States with Telemundo
Deportes
YouTube channel. So do that. Check in with Edgar and Tommy. It's such a good time.
That's on you, Edgar.
Yeah, I know. I don't know how many other words you got.
No, I can't even fathom with that dude. He's bringing it. So.
He brings intensity.
Sorry, Edgar. Sorry, my bad.
That's all I got. One word. All right, that's our 450 class from playoff round 1. Here are the highlights. 250 class, Concord, North Carolina. The 4-wide drag strip, zMAX from North Carolina, a racing hub. Finally, the last 2 years, getting a great display of what the best of Supercross and Motocross look like, but this is not, unfortunately, a good one for Jalek Swoll.
James, no, it wasn't. Just a tough hit. He gets squeezed out there by Hayden Deegan and just dips his front end off the ledge of the dirt, and it's slippery there, and hate to see that from Jalek.
Yeah, tough hit and reset everything. Levi Kitchen was out front, so we wondered what the day was going to be. But yeah, on the restart, it was the rookie, Juju, coming out here. And this kid, this is the theme of the day. This kid stayed up front a lot, and he showed how much speed he had. It was good to watch.
Yep, Julian Beaumaire, the rookie on the KTM. Now, Hayden Deegan, way back early, but man, did he carve through.
Yeah, he did. And I honestly, at the beginning, I'm like, man, I was skeptical if he was going to be able to make up that much time, but then as soon as he would even sniff clean air, that guy would lay down some incredibly fast laps. Sometimes he was over 1.5 seconds faster than the leaders at times, and he just gobbled them up and really put on a clinic. It seemed like he was extremely comfortable on the motorcycle. He could go inside, outside, was never following, and he rode his own race.
No. And RJ Hampshire passed Joe Shimoda, but here comes Deegan.
Yeah, no, I mean, Hayden was coming, and RJ wanted a piece of him. The last outdoor, he got on the podium and started feeling good. So you know Hayden probably had a little bit of motivation, because you say anything around, you get a little sense. But this was a big moment of the day. RJ, that rhythm section that all these guys are struggling, gets a little cross-rutted and goes down really hard. He was in the danger zone, but he was able to get back up and finish the race.
Luckily, he got up, right?
Yeah.
Well, that was a tough lick.
Yeah, well, anybody maybe outside of RJ, they might be still laying there, but you know how he's built, right?
And now Deegan catches the leader, Beaumaire, and uses that big rhythm again.
Yeah, Julian had a huge lead, and the only person that was able to catch him was Hayden. I mean, he was just on a different level, so great ride by him. But this kid showed up at the gate. Man, he was moving. He has the swagger, and it was like, move or be hit, because I'm going to the front.
Well, like my dad used to tell me, James, if you didn't like what happened at first moto, you probably ain't going to like what's going to happen the second moto. Right?
Yeah, if you don't like that, turn the TV off right now, because we get a replay this.
Including Beaumaire up front again.
The rookie out front, he starts pulling away. But again, it was things happened a little bit quicker. But Levi wanted to come back to the party here, makes a couple good passes, was able to get in the lead and start pulling away from these guys. But you know, that confidence that Julian got from that first moto allowed him to.
Like you said, is in Supercross, when Levi would get in the lead, rarely did he ever lose it. And I kind of thought the same, like, you know what? He might check out and have a he might have this.
Yeah,
however,
I think Levi kind of thought that as well, you know. So for him, this was definitely a different moment. But as I said, all that's been building all year long. And you could tell Hayden just felt like his riding, his body language said he wasn't worried at all as he gets past his teammates, Max Anstey, and now he's going to go up and get around Juju for second place. And at this point, goes up the inside. Julian did a good job at actually passing him back, but Hayden was going to the front. He was about 6 seconds behind Levi. It took about a lap and a half.
And then Levi doesn't get this double jump, and suddenly Deegan is into the lead.
Oh, and he gave him a wave. I didn't see that.
Discards it like
and
two clubs, right?
Turn down for what? There it is. So, yeah, and that's pretty much all Levi saw. He was gone after that.
I will tell you this.
Yep, go ahead.
I'm going to tell you, Juju Beaumaire, I think, had an incredible ride. I think one of the best rides of the weekend for that class outside of Hayden Deegan, and I can't wait to see if he backs up that performance next week. And if so, he's made that next step in his career, I believe.
Yep.
Great job, Julian.
It could be where it starts for him, and it's where it continues for Deegan, and it will be Kitchen still recovering on the podium. Kind of wonder what happened in that first moto. He had the lead, and then they red flag restarted it. But the bottom line is this: Deegan ran everybody down anyway, and he goes 1-1. And he was the #1 seed coming into the playoffs. His points lead is growing. Kitchen third, as mentioned, then Shimoda and Vial.
Yeah, if you look in the dictionary of the word beatdown, you're going to see Hayden Deegan's face up there. That was a beatdown today, son.
Yeah.
The wave, the whip. He was looking over, by the way, when Hampshire went down.
He was toying with him today, and he said he wasn't even. He was mad. He's like, dude, I had so many bobbles.
What?
It was, I'm like, oh man.
Yeah, a lot of words, but
that's an 8-point lead now for Deegan, who extended that. Again, he led coming in and stretched it over Kitchen. 5 extra points, with Kitchen finishing third today. But watch out, Boumer's now up to 5th. And a great run for the rookie on the Red Bull KTM. Let's learn more about that team. Send it down to Will Christian.
Thank you, Jason. That's right. And that's why I've headed down here to speak to crew chief here at Red Bull KTM, Carlos Rivera. A busy day for you. You had some guys out on the track there. We just saw Julian Baumer. We just saw the highlights there. What an incredible performance from this young rookie here today. It really was something special. What do you see in Julian that he's picking up so well here that's kind of like crossing over to SMX so well, to these hybrid tracks?
Well, definitely for us, it's a work in progress with him. He's been doing really well. He's pretty much gifted a little bit in Supercross than this MX, but he's actually improved quite a bit, and I believe he impressed a lot of people today. You know, he rode well, secured good starts every time, and put himself in a good position. And he took it away, you know, rode really well.
And these tracks, I mean, they're not easy to figure out even for the veterans, for the guys who've been around the, you know, the circuit here and done this. So for Juju, you've just said he's a little bit weaker sort of outdoors on the motocross, and yet this had a lot of motocross elements to it, including the high-speed element. So what does that mean to you when you're looking forward now to 2025 and what he's capable of? Where do you think he's going to end up in the pile?
For me, it's easier for him to do Supercross. When I watch him, and that's what the first time I saw him riding, it was like very, very impressive in Supercross. And this is a little mix both, but he feels a lot of confidence in the Supercross tracks, and I believe this will bring a lot for him. You know, a lot of confidence and believing in himself that he belongs there. I mean, he can be in the top 5 every day.
It was fun to watch that build and see that confidence build for him today. Speaking of confidence, let's switch over to 450s. Chase Sexton, if you were going to perhaps not have your best day this first round as far as the points go, doubling next weekend, tripling the weekend after, you talked about it on the podium. This is kind of the mulligan, if you like to give away. He talked about lack of comfort. Next weekend's going to really count. He's going to have to find that comfort here to keep that SMX lead. What can you guys do? What do you think Chase is missing that you want to see out of him in Texas?
I definitely think we need to get better starts. I mean, with these guys, they're really good. Not taking any credit, they're really strong in the starts, and he has to better starts. Confidence, he's a champion. He knows how to get back again, and I mean, he can do it. He can come back next week and swing it and be on top again.
And is there, like, bike-wise, where do you guys go? Is this about going, all right, Chase, you got one under your belt, this is on you? Or as a team, what can you do for him?
Definitely every weekend we try to get better. That's our job, you know, to make the bike better and better. We never stop trying stuff. But definitely we're not reinventing the wheel. I mean, we're pretty close. We just got to get better starts and move forward.
He's a champion. We expect to see good things out of him. Thank you, Carlos. Appreciate your insight always.
Thank you.
And thank you, Will. Yeah, that is one thing we actually had said coming into this. The only real weakness that Sexton had, even in Pro Motocross when he was dominant, James, we were there every weekend, the starts had not been very good, and also in Supercross. Yeah. He had moments where he was creeping up on both Eli and Jed. He didn't do it at the end, but he started behind him in both races.
Yeah, I mean, I'll read between the lines. I don't think Carlos said, no, it wasn't a bike, you know, like, I mean, we as a team, Chase is confident, he's a champion, he knows what he needs to do, but really came down to is that he wasn't able to do it. And the difference was outdoors, it's a lot more room, you know, and we talked about doing outdoors. He's a different rider out front. I believe if he started in front of him, it might be a different race. It might have ended up different, but you're going to have to pass these dudes. And those guys did it. Eli, since the moment he attacked. Jet Lawrence, since the moment he attacked. Now it's going to be up to Chase Sexton, because I believe next weekend for him not to have that outdoor season somewhat, it's never an asterisk, but to have people, and even in his mind, creep in that, man, maybe if he was there, things would be different. it is a must-win next weekend to me.
Well, 100% it is, and to support what you're saying, you know, as far as the passing perspective goes, I watched Eli Tomac pass Jet. I watched Jet pass Eli. Those are the two guys that went 1-2. And you listen to Chase, and he said that, you know, next weekend's really important, like really matters. Almost like he kind of brushed off this loss. And I tell Stu this, like every single race counts. Every single race counts. We all know it's double points next weekend. But mentally, I'm not trying to give Jet Lawrence or Eli Tomac any type of advantage. No shot whatsoever.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, next weekend is double points, but it's who's winning. That's the part. Like, that's the Jet Lawrence. If somebody else would have won, Hunter Lawrence would have won, yeah, I would agree with him. But it's who's winning, because that guy's getting confidence just in that 250 class. Hayden Deegan's getting confidence. I'm excited to see what happens next weekend in Dallas.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Big reset button needs to be pressed if you're Chase Sexton. As for Eli Tomac and Jet Lawrence, definitely only one of them that could win. But this had to be about as good as they could have expected it to be. Maybe even better than some expected it to be for those guys. Yeah. JT.
Yeah, and guys, when I sit here and I think about today and the performance that Jet Lawrence put in, and then I also reference Hayden Deegan and the level of excellence that he's rising to, I start thinking about the future and the collision course that they feel like they're on. Now, we're going to get another year of Eli Tomac, which is going to be fantastic. And you know Chase Sexton's going to stick around. One race does not make a season. But look at where we're headed. Look at the level of riding here today, the things that they were doing. You hear Eli Tomac, and I'm standing in the sand where Jet was making time on him. And it was funny to hear Eli Tomac reference it without me bringing it up. He knew he was slow in the sand right here, and he thought he could maybe survive that. But it seems like we're seeing that every single weekend. Go back to Daytona earlier in Monster Energy Supercross. Eli said he was too conservative. He didn't put the rhythm section together. He stopped doing the quad today, got a little conservative, right? Those little things are what's keeping him from, I think, winning these titles. And then you look at the progression of a Jet Lawrence and a Hayden Deegan, and they are so committed. They'll take the risk. They'll push the limit, especially Hayden. I don't think there is a limit he's willing to broach. We're in such a good spot in the sport. That's my thought moving forward. Yes, we're going to have 2 more great races, but big picture, we're in a fantastic spot in the sport of SMX. Will Christian, what do you have to tell us?
Well, you stole my thoughts somewhat there, JT, because I was over here at Star Racing Yamaha. I was watching Hayden, just the confidence. You're just watching him talk post-race here to his team, and just the way he holds himself, all the confidence that he has right now. And my brain was going to watching that pass on track of Jet on Eli Tomac, teammate here to Hayden Deegan. And it's just this idea of the potential passing of the torch. To see Eli Tomac and Jet Lawrence go at it like that at the end of that second moto was just something special, because you're just watching these two ends, these bookends of this sport, if you like, and we can throw Hayden Deegan comfortably into that mix, right, within the 250s, within the lights class, and it just makes me excited to look forward to 2025, because what we're going to see, is that handover going to happen? Ricky James, you've told some wonderful stories kind of like off camera about knowing when that moment was, knowing when you've gone, okay, it's time, I can't beat this guy anymore. And we're seeing just this snapshot, this incredibly special moment. So JT, to your point, it's an incredible time, and there's more to come, and it's exciting.
I can attest to exactly what JT was talking about in that moment, and it was when we were in 2007 at Atlanta. There was a little section coming out of a corner, and I was behind James, and you know, he was coming up over this gnarly, he was tripling over this gnarly backsided tabletop, and the backside of that tabletop was literally vertical. And it was from that point on, I'm just like, you know, I'm just not willing to take those chances, and it wasn't. That was the real moment where I'm like, yeah, I'm not doing this. There were other moments leading up to that where I'm like, yeah, I'm just not going to do that. But when you start surrendering to that, then, you know, then you just have to, then you're leaning on other things to try to win. And it's not just those spur-of-the-moment thoughts like Hayden Deegan has or like Jet has.
Yeah, no doubt. And we had a live show for the fans last night. Come join us next Friday for that. And we were talking about why people love to bench race about you guys against each other. And my theory was because we had this long build-up. We had waited and waited and waited for you guys to finally race each other. I know it would be awesome to see Hayden Deegan against Jet Lawrence right now. That's an appetizer. We're going to get Tomac, Sexton, Hunter Lawrence, all these guys. But yes, somewhere down the line, we are probably looking at those two tangling. But kind of the more it builds up, maybe the more exciting it's going to be when we finally get to that day.
Yeah, but until then, we got to just wait and see what they do next weekend at Dallas. So they still, this championship still for grabs for all these guys, and you know, but they got off to a great start. Can't wait to Dallas next week.
Yep.
Double points.
Yeah, double points. That's right. But the two #1s from last year were #1 today at playoff round 1. Here's how you watch the second one, which is next Saturday from Texas Motor Speedway in Fort Worth. Race day live, 9:30 a.m. Eastern. That's qualifying coverage. The SMX Insider pre-race show begins at 2:30. We drop the gates at 3 o'clock Eastern and go racing. There will be same-day delay coverage on USA. Tell your friends if they're not watching on Peacock or the SMX Video Pass. Man, it's so exciting. I mean, you had Eli Tomac and Jet Lawrence battling to the checkered flag in the last lap. You really can't get much better than that. Let's do it all again in Texas and again in Las Vegas. For Ricky Carmichael, James Stewart, Will Christian, and Jason Thomas, this has been the SMX Insider post-race show. I'm Jason Wygant saying congrats to the winners, Hayden Deegan and Jet Lawrence. See you next week in Texas as the World Championship rolls on.